There's been some controversy in Hollywood here recently. Some juicy stuff going on. And we were talking about it a minute ago, but let's transition over into Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, Creed, all those movies. Apparently, he's pissed. There was a new Rocky spin-off movie about Ivan Drago that was announced here recently called Drago. And for those of you that don't know, Ivan Drago was the villain boxer, if you will, in Rocky IV. You know, the movie that brought down the wall. Another great cheesy 80s, straight-faced yet super cheesy machismo 80s flick. And Ivan Drago was one of those characters people love to hate. He came back. I've actually not seen Creed 2, but apparently he came back in Creed 2, which also, I'm sure everybody knows, Creed is a spin-off itself of the Rocky movies, where Sylvester Stallone is now the trainer for Adonis Creed, which is Apollo Creed's son. Yeah. And Apollo Creed in the movies was killed by Ivan Drago. Not like murdered. He was punched to death in the ring. So that was the whole thing behind Creed 2, my understanding is that he's fighting the son of the man who killed his father, redemption, yada, yada, yada. Well, apparently they're making a Drago movie. I'm assuming it'll be about the son, and maybe Ivan Drago will be in it. I don't know. They didn't really say. But Sylvester Stallone's not happy about it. You might be asking yourself, why? Well, let's look over on Instagram, I think is where he put it. That's where he does his stuff. And he said, another heartbreaker. Just found this out. This is from Stallone, by the way. Just found this out. Once again, this pathetic 94-year-old producer and his moronic, useless vulture children, Charles and David, are once again picking clean the bones of another wonderful character I created without even telling me. I apologize to the fans. I never wanted Rocky characters to be exploited by these parasites. He also went on to say, by the way, I have nothing but respect for Dolph. But I wish he, capitalized he, had told me what was going on behind my back, he said on Saturday in a post. Keep your real friends close. Oh, snap. Stallone's pissed. Now, for a little bit of background real quick to everybody, Sylvester Stallone sold the rights of Rocky when he was, he wrote Rocky, the first Rocky, and he directed some of them. I can't remember which ones, but he didn't direct the first one. But he wrote Rocky. Mm-hmm. It was what propelled him to stardom, and he sold it for not a lot, but part of his deal was I get to star in it, and you can't deviate too much from my script within reason. So he sold it to what is his name, Nick? The producer, Winkler?
Irwin Winkler.
Irwin Winkler. That is the pathetic 94-year-old producer that he is referring to, and his moronic, useless vulture children, Charles and David, which they work in the industry as well. So Stallone has been trying to get back part or all of the rights of Rocky for a long time. He's been not happy about that. Been saying, this is my creation. You've gotten a lot from it. Can I please have it back now? He may have been offering money. I don't know everything that's gone into that, but he's been wanting the Rocky rights back for a long time. Something to pass on to his children, et cetera, et cetera. And I guess he doesn't like how some of the characters being butchered. So that's the backstory on that. Also, there's a Creed 3 coming, and he apparently will not be in it. But not because he doesn't want to, but for the verdict on that is still out, but apparently there's something going on there. He's not going to be in it. Some were saying it had something to do because it was announced in 2020, and the world was going through some stuff, and people were saying some were alluding that they didn't like the whole idea of someone of one color being under someone else of another color, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not getting into all that. That's just what people were saying. I don't know why he's not in Creed 3, who knows? But he's not. But then we come to this, and apparently there was a press release that Dolph Lundgren was not aware that it was happening. Dolph Lundgren came back on Instagram as well. And by the way, Dolph Lundgren was discovered by Sylvester Stallone for Rocky IV, and they have remained close friends since then.
Yep.
That's why he was in the Expendable movies, etc., etc. But Dolph Lundgren had this to say: "Just to set the record straight. I have nothing... Oh, wrong one. Just set the record straight regarding a possible Drago spinoff. There's no approved script, no deals in place, no director, and I was personally under the impression that my friend, Sly Stallone, was involved as a producer or even as an actor. There was a press leak last week, which was unfortunate. In touch with Mr. Balboa, just so all the fans can relax. There you go." So that's all the info we got. I mean, there's a lot of other shit that they were throwing out there. So pretty much Sly's pissed because he's like, hey, you're making a movie about characters I created. I'm still in the game. I'm still interested in being in these movies. And you don't even tell me that it's happening. You announce it to the world and I found out with everybody else. This is my baby. What the fuck? And he, even though he was saying nothing but respect for Dolph Lundgren, he was still saying, you know, why you could have let me know something. But Dolph Lundgren was like, I figured you knew. Which that seems genuine. He's like, I mean, you are Rocky. I figured you were aware of it. I thought you were, you know, part of that whole thing somewhere. But Stallone's pissed. He is blaming Irwin Winkler, saying, give me my shit back. Stop exploiting my characters that I created. Me, myself, personally, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this because they apparently told him when he's been going back and forth saying, hey, give me the rights back or let me get the rights back. They were like, you got paid. Now, he did get paid like next to nothing for it. What he got was stardom out of it. Because they didn't want to put him in the starring role, and he said, I'll sell you the script, I'll sell you. It was like a really low amount, like a few $1,000s or something, or it wasn't a lot for a script. And but he was like, part of it was, I'll take a lower amount, but I want to star in the movie. So he did get something from it. That's what propelled him to stardom. So I see where they're coming, but I also see where he's coming because it is his baby. It is the thing that made him, and it is the one character he has under his belt that has gone, you know, through the years. It's still around now, more or less. It has a legacy. But I don't know how I feel about. What about? You know, tell me what. Maybe your words can set me straight. What do you think about this, Nick?
My biggest problem with this whole situation is he complains about the series being exploited. But this is a guy that created some of the worst sequels to any franchise, whether it be Rocky or Rambo. And all he did was use his star power to create very low ranking series, like episodes. Like Rocky V, I think it is like considered one of the worst sequels. Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That is one he directed, I think. If I remember correctly.
I think he directed Rocky IV. I mean, he had Mr. T. I know people love like Mr. T and Drago and stuff like that, but are they really that good of movies? Honestly,
Rocky
like the first
3
two, because
isn't Rocky that great. Honestly, Rocky IV is fun.
Rocky IV has a montage, but it's like
Rocky IV is it's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie. Rocky 3 is kind of it's alright. I mean, it takes the series in a different direction. But Rocky IV, I will say, it is an iconic 80s movie. It encapsulates everything from the 80s, the whole Cold War, Russia, America. Wow, we're kind of back there, aren't we? But it encapsulates all that, and it does it in a fun way. It's a solid movie. He just released a new director's cut of it, by the way, called Rocky vs. Drago. Yeah, apparently it's supposed to be the definitive. I don't know, but it's a solid movie. I'm not going to take that from it. 5 was terrible. 3 was forgettable, except for Clubber Lang.
Rocky Balboa was all right.
Yeah, Rocky Balboa was cool. The first Creed I saw, I enjoyed it. I haven't seen Creed 2.
I just think Sylvester Stallone sometimes doesn't get it. I really do. I think like I saw the last Rambo movie. That was the only Rambo movie I saw in the theaters, and it was absolutely god awful. I think it was like 83 minutes of just, hey, let's see how much carnage we can put on the screen.
The Home Alone Rambo.
Let's make them. Yeah, Rambo Last Blood or whatever it was, and then when he went over to Vietnam, I'm like, the guy exploits his own projects and sit here and bitches about it. It's like Mickey Rourke bitching about superhero movies and then starring in a superhero movie. It's like, get the fuck out of here. It's like the whole Will Smith apology thing. I don't care. Stop bitching about it. Go be a fucking man instead of carrying 2 dogs around. You know?
Because he did, and he's making it sound like, oh, I didn't get, all I got was this little bit of money. No, man, you got your career out of it. You got the opportunity. That's why you're talking about it now, because
Yeah.
I mean, because the Winkler family. I mean, say what you will about them. Have they exploited it? Sure, they have. It's Hollywood. That's what they're gonna do. What are you gonna do with it, Stallone? You're probably gonna exploit it. I mean, you're not just gonna hold it and not do anything with it. I mean, the only people that do that is the Friday the 13th guys. They're legit. They're like, no, we're not doing anything with this. But no, you're gonna exploit it. So I don't know. I get it. It's your creation, but you sold that. I understand why you sold it, and that sucks that you had to do that. But there's a give and take in life, and just, let it go, dude. Just let it go, or offer him a shit ton of money for it. How much do you really want it? Because he's got a lot of
George
money.
Lucas mindset. sell the toy rights back to him or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Sylvester Stallone's doing bad, and this is his way back in.
No, he's worth like $500 million. I think he's doing it right. He's pissed because, to be fair, the Creed movies were much better than the Rocky movies in a lot of respects. So he's pissed that they're making better movies than even he could.
But he was a part of those. He was a part of the so far, the two Creed movies we've gotten. He got an Oscar nomination
for Creed.
I think he was. I don't know if he wrote them, but he was a part of that franchise, that sub franchise not sub. That sounds like that spinoff franchise. So I mean, be happy with that, man. People still, when you think Rocky, they don't think Irwin Winkler. They think Sylvester Stallone. You're good, man. You'll be all right. So I'm with you. I think this is all just kind of fluff. I mean, I see where he's coming from, like I said, but at the end of the day, I don't really vilify for the fact of him owning it, Irwin Winkler and his kids for owning it. What they do with it, I don't really see that you're going to do any different. It is what it is. If Sylvester Stallone had the rights back, we'd probably just get another Rocky movie. I don't think we get these spinoffs. At least are doing. They're continuing the legacy, but doing something a little bit different.
They made Sylvester Stallone have like actual depth, like since the first movie. So I don't know. I feel like Hollywood just has their head up their butt sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. They absolutely do it too. But yeah, this is kind of this story's been all over the place. That's the only reason I decided to talk about it, is because I was looking for stories, and this one kept popping up, and I was like, is it really that interesting? So I said, well, I'll talk about it. People are interested in it. So yeah, Rocky is pissed that he ain't got the rights to Rocky.
Maybe he needs a boxer Irwin Winkler or something. I don't know.
He better watch the fuck out, man, because they've pushed him out of the movies, which is what it sounds like. It sounds like they pushed him out of the next Creed, which probably means he's doing all this stink here. He's probably not going to be in Drago. He's probably going to get pushed out of that unless they break bread or something. They're going to end up like bringing somebody in and like doing a parody of him or something. They're going to start clowning on his ass in these new movies if he doesn't watch it. I'm just saying, right or wrong, that's what happens. Hollywood is a vindictive bitch, and that's what they'll fucking do. He keeps talking about this dude and his kids. He's going to be like, oh, okay, you got shit to say? Here you go, motherfucker. But might be actually funny to see. But yeah, so Rocky is mad that he can't Rocky no more, for what it's worth. I mean, it's time to go. He's like, what, 70-something at this point? Yeah, he ain't going to be getting in the ring anyway. Whatever. It is what it is. That's the show. Or that's the story, I guess, for those of you that are interested in that.